in a moment. Now, where am I? Okay, correct. Right, there you go. Yep. Okay. So, like it or not, okay, difficult conversations are things like this. What I mean by a difficult conversation, like it or not, difficult conversations are conversations between two or more people when the stakes are high. Agree, everybody? Stakes are high, right? When party A is saying ABC, party B is saying EFG, and party C is I've got no idea what they're talking about. The opinions will vary, and there's a lot of emotions. Okay, one of the key things with a lot of difficult conversations is the emotions are there, the conflict is not far away, and of course, if it doesn't get resolved properly, or we don't go into this conversation properly, well, the ego will come in. Agree? Everyone's got an ego, right? Who here doesn't have an ego? Raise your hand if you say, I do not have an ego. Right? My ego is zilch. Anyone? I don't think anyone will raise their hand now. Right? So what I'm trying to say here is that it's very difficult in this kind of conversation. And let's have a look at the poll. Let's have a look at the poll and let's see what the poll is telling us. Okay. The poll. Thank you very much for the 33 of you who are here for the first time. Okay. If you have not met me before, my name is Jeremy. Right, please do attend an ATCEN training sometime in the future. And of course, reach out to my team members here. You got Navin here, and of course, Chloe is somewhere around. Okay, right. So, some of you have been here more than once, less than 3 times, 14, less than 3, and things like that. Okay. Now, what about the rest? All right, let's have a look. Okay. For me, sorry, I missed out the word. For me, a difficult conversation are most likely to occur between. Difficult conversations are most likely to occur between peers and yourself. Same level, right? Subordinates and you, superiors and you, vendors, customers, and you. Okay, that's the highest one. 23% of you said, okay? Right, 43% of you mentioned that your most difficult part is usually working with vendors and customers, right? Everyone agree? Right now, personally for myself, I sometimes find it more difficult with partners. Right, partners can be quite difficult. The other one is also superiors, as people put down there. Okay, now if you're interested, one of the things I'm running very soon. Okay, right, and if you like, just give me a call. I'm running this actually on Monday. I call it stakeholder management. I run a stakeholder management program whereby we look in depth into stakeholders, and majority of the time the stakeholders that we really look into are external parties. Okay, external parties, which are vendors and customers, right, which are vendors and customers. So if you want to know more about that, reach out to my team, or you can reach out to me at the end of this workshop. Now, good. The majority of you in this room says, okay, for 70%, you've got average skills when it comes to dealing with difficult conversations. Good. Okay, you got average skills when it comes to dealing with difficult conversation. Good place to start. Good place to start. My job is to help you improve. Okay, my job is to help you improve. Now, before I begin, all right, I just want to ask you, put in the chat, everyone, please put as many as you can, or please contribute to this. Okay, as I mentioned, please share. And I want this session to be as interactive as possible. As a matter of fact, if you want to really gain a lot from this session, you need to volunteer yourself and say, Jeremy, can I do the role play with you? I'm not joking, right? I'm going to have a few sessions whereby we can have role plays on this. You can say, hey, Jeremy, can I do the role play on this? How I run my workshop when I'm doing difficult conversation, we literally do role play. I'm not interested in, I think I will do it, I think I will do that. No, let's do it. Let's run through the scenarios. How will you answer? What would you say? How will you start the conversation? And different scenarios have different things, right? In this particular workshop, because of the shortness of time, I'm just going to give you one scenario. But this scenario is a very interesting one. But if you have ever come for my workshop in terms of assertiveness or communicate and influence before, you would notice that this scenario is the first one I usually use, which is also the easiest one. Okay, this is the first and also the easiest one that I start with. Okay, and already some people may find it very challenging, right? But that is where we are supposed to be. We are supposed to have really difficult conversations. Some of the scenarios I put in place would be, why don't, before I go in there, everyone in the chat, What would you like to hear? What would you like to learn from this particular session? If I can, I will accommodate as much as I can. Okay. So in the chat, open up the chat group, type in. Okay. AC, type in. Right. Shima, type in. Right. Haslini, I hope I got your name correct. Haslini, is it? Right. Ahmad, please type your name. Type your in the chat what do you want. Okay. Right. The rest of you, Linda, I know you were here quite early. Tan, please put it in. Eric in the chat. What do you want to see? What do you want to see? Or what do you want to hear from me? Okay. How to manage lazy boss? Wow. The boss will say, because you are the one doing the work, so can afford to be lazy. The boss may be saying no. Tan, the boss may be saying no. Right? You got other people. Come, Jensen from Back Free, right? Mio, hey, Bernard Chong. Okay. Darren, please put in. Okay. Yuris, Joanne, Carmen, right? Raymond, right? Hey, Raymond, is that you? Raymond Tong. Okay. Is that the Raymond I know? Right. Tan. Right. Julie Chang, Terrence. Okay. Audrey, put in something. Okay, I'm reading it. Yes, it is. Okay. Hi, Raymond. Haven't seen a long time. Now, let's go. How to manage a lazy boss? Then that means it's the conversation you need to have with the person on top, lah. Okay. How to handle difficult stuff? You need to be more specific. Right. June, right? June Saleh, you need to be a bit more specific, right? How to manage difficult stuff, right? Now, we've got other things, right? We've got more coming in. Come, everyone type. How to sell someone who has low self-awareness? Good question. That's a good one. Low self-awareness, right? Maybe because the person's not very empathetic. The EQ is a bit low, right? Or very self-centered. It's all about me, myself, and I, right? Now, Zarita, since you put it, I'm not covering this, but it is in my workshop. But what I want to do is this, okay? Let me put it this way. I will incorporate it somehow into the role play that we are doing it. Okay, later. Right. How to manage a staff with low competency? Low competency is always development. Okay, this is for Putri. Right. Like it or not, it's about knowledge, skills, and attitude. Okay, the competency is because of they really want to learn or don't want to learn. Right. Hence, the knowledge is low, and the attitude here is, do they really want to learn? One is knowledge. I know, I don't know. Agree? I know, I don't know. So if the person doesn't know and the person knows they need to learn it, so they will learn it. But the attitude is the one that's stopping them from learning it, because sometimes they say, what's for learn? Does it benefit me if I learn? If I learned it, I have to do more work. Then that's the attitude issue. It's not a learning issue. They've got another thought process to this. Okay, right? Lecture team, the team is not moving as much as you need to, right? Sharu said, right? Sharu, remember, it is not just one factor. When the team is lecture, it's multiple factors. Usually it's multiple factors from performance to think. Okay, quick one, right? I'm just gonna answer this if you don't mind. And if I'm answering this, please take note, please listen up. I'm moving very fast here, right? Because as I said, since I promise you I'll answer your questions, I will answer your questions, okay? Right? Quick one. How do you measure a staff performance? 3 key areas. 3 key areas. There's only 3 key areas to measure staff performance. First one, the main, most important one, the end thing, the result. Are they getting you the result? Are they getting you the result? Okay, the result that is the KPI, performance is there and things like that. Right. Second thing that you measure and you look at is their behavior. Are they putting the right actions in place to get the job done? Are they putting the right actions in place to get the job done? That's behavior. Is the actions there to get the job done? Right. Third thing that you always look into is this: impact. What is the person's impact to the team? What's the person's impact to you? What's the person's impact to the organization? We know he or she has impact to himself or herself. That is without being, that is mentioned, said already. But the thing is, what is the person's impact to the team? What do I mean by that? Very simple. Does the team need to always, what I would say, help this person out? Because this person never finished what he or she is supposed to finish. Make sense? Right? So this is the 3 areas you may want to look into, okay? Right? And that is on top of all the processes that need to be in place, the performance measure that need to be in place. Are they having clear goals and things like that? So that is Putri's, answering Putri, right? And also Sharu, right? How to avoid getting scolded by a boss. Be good, no, right, CC, right? How to deal with superior that sometimes we are unhappy with his or her. This is a very good one that one of the role plays I usually do in my workshop. What happens when we are unhappy with a decision made? Okay, how do we bring it up to superiors? Because usually that is the key here, right? How to persuade stakeholders, right? Mio, good question. How to persuade stakeholders, right? Mio, you sound familiar, lah. Okay. We have met before, right? So how to persuade stakeholders? Stakeholders are anyone who has an involvement with whatever we are doing. How to persuade them? As one of the key things, you need to come from their perspective first. You need to understand where they're coming from, right? How to handle customers who are reluctant to this thing? Raymond, good question. Good question. My take. If you do not know what I'm doing it, I'm reading through the message, and it doesn't seem to stop now. Okay, right. I will stop at a certain point, and we need to go in. Okay. How to handle a customer who is reluctant to accept opinion on suggestion, right? Right. So you need to find out lah. My thing is, are you sure that is what they want? Are you sure that's what they want? Now we can have a discussion on this, okay? Now, how to manage superior decide on again, phobia to make a decision. Okay, if I'm moving too fast, going too fast, type in the chat. Jeremy, you talk too fast. tak faham啦, don't understand. 我不知道你在说什么. Okay, type in. Okay, right? Phobia to make a decision. This is off. Okay, off. We can have a separate discussion on this, and I'll love to have a discussion on this. Okay, how do you handle a deal with a person who has who is same team with you? So this is peer. It's a peer issue. You know, you don't have power over me. I don't have power over you. We are supposed to work on this together, and we have an issue here. Okay, now something that we also do in the workshop itself. But my company just measures sales, PO, and collection. Terrence coming back. Okay, well, as I said lah, if you don't measure certain things are not going to be done, right? How to manage a conversation with a client about an issue without your without your control you don't have control over solution. Okay, right? Right. And Melissa is asking that question. Okay, we don't have control over certain things, and I think this is something that all of us are facing, right? Tons and tons of people are facing this at the moment, right? COVID was first the headache that gave us this supply chain issue. Now the war in Russia and Ukraine is giving us another supply chain issue, and this time it's also a lot of cost factor involved because we are moving, but the cost of just moving goods from one point to the other point is so high, right? Sometimes a lot of us even need to go back to the customer to renegotiate, and we really need to talk about this. Okay, so hopefully by the end of the session I've given you a few ideas. If not, just continue to ask me after that. Okay, how to deal with staff that give bad influence to other staff. Okay, you need to talk to that staff. Yeah, you need to talk. June, you need to talk to that staff. You need to talk to the staff. For those of you who have done this who have done my full workshop, you know this is exactly one of the role plays that we do. Okay, June, listen up. Okay, listen up. Ken, all right. Next up. Okay, I digress a little bit, but just to answer your questions. Okay, let me move forward now. I'm going to give you 5 tips. Okay, as I mentioned, the thing I'm going to give you 5 tips. Right, 5 tips. How many? 5. This first one is about confidence. It's about confidence. You don't get this one, the rest doesn't really matter. But this one also gives an overview of what exactly we are doing. Now, I'm stealing this off from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is Anthony Robbins, right? And what it's here, it basically says this: physiology, focus, and language. What's the top there? State. Okay. You want to have this kind of conversation, you must be in a certain state of mind. You want to have difficult conversation. Don't just say, I want to have it now, and boom, you are in having a difficult conversation. No, okay? You must be in a certain state. I know if you're dealing with customers, sometimes it's a bit more difficult. But when you're dealing with customers, you must always realize anything can come up when the phone rings or when someone walks through the door, right? I've been in enough of that situation. I work in the contact center for some time, and I know any call that comes in, 90% of the time is a bad call, meaning they are screaming and shouting about something. I'm just prepared. The state of mind is carried out as long as I'm on my desk, right? So what do I mean? When you are working on with any difficult conversation, remember this key thing, everybody. Physiology means how your brain and your body function together. Your brain will make your, your mind, your state of mind, your brain will make your hands do things. Likewise, when you are nervous, the body will also send messages to your brain to say, hello, you are nervous. Agree? It does that. So, I mean, I have been in meetings. I remember one time I told one of my, a few people a few weeks back in one of my training, hey, I was in a certain meeting and my hands were shaking. Why? Because, wow, the CEO was so fast. So fast as in, I got worried about the CEO. I knew if this meeting went on for quite some time, I'm going to get stuck somewhere. So all the nervous energy came. So my hands were shaking so much that I was clenching my hand under the table and I refused to take the coffee when he said, hey, have a cup of coffee. And I'm like, hey, I'm not having that cup of coffee on the table. Because if I pick up that cup of coffee, it's going to shake. Okay? That's what we mean. Physiology, you know you are not in control and you need to be. Because why? When we are scared, we are either what we call flying away or we are fighting. So we cannot have a conversation when we feel that we are either flying away or we are fighting. You get me? Because it's too emotional and the ego starts to come in. Everyone, you understand where I'm coming from this one? Okay. So this is something that all of us need to be aware of. Now, how do you overcome this? Very simple. If you can, do something different. Don't stand there and take it. Do something different. So if it's a customer, you're facing a customer and the customer is shouting, screaming at you and you're sitting down, stand up. Your body knows what happens. When your body stands up, your body feels more confident, your body feels better. You get me? Rather than sitting down. There's a lot of science behind this, but key thing here. If you are nervous, you're frightened, you're afraid of something, physiology, change something in your body, and I will extend it as well, change the environment. Okay, now, second thing here, focus. Before you have a conversation with someone, know what is the end result you want. Know what is the end result you want. Everyone, be clear. Be clear. Okay, right? Be extremely clear. What is the end result you want? Now, sometimes you say, hey, Jeremy, I never met this customer. The customer walk in and already tembak saya. They took machine gun and just shot everyone down. Fine. But you have the first part of the conversation to figure it out. What is the focus here? That you want to focus and what is their focus? It's focus on both sides. As long as you don't get their focus, they are not going to buy you. You need to get their focus so that you can influence them. Influencing it, I want this, so I come to you and tell you I want it. Influencing skills is, I want this, but let's find out what you want first. Then I try to work with you to get what you want and what I want. That's influencing skills. Again, influencing skills is not I want this, Jeremy wants this. So Jeremy comes to you and say, hey, I want this. And I try to get you to take this from me or buy this from me. Influencing skill is, I want this. I want you to buy something, for example. But I come to you first and try to determine what you want and try to put the two together. That's influencing skills. Get me? So what's the focus here? Right? And when I go to the workshop, when I go to the role play, you will understand. Last but not least, it's the language. It's the language that people use in a conversation. Be very careful with the language. A lot of people love to use negative words. Now, example. I'm just going to give you a massive example I hear a lot of. Yeah, example. It's like a superior coming to me and tell me, hey, Jeremy, today I had to talk to one of my staff about a problem that he had. Someone complained about him or her. So therefore, I went up to him or her and say, hey, someone complained about you. Then I look at the person and go, okay, great. So what's the issue here? Well, after that, they didn't listen to me. I say, of course, the word complain is so strong. Do you really need to use the word complain? Right? Right? Haslini, yeah? Can I just ask you a question?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. Now, please, you want to get the max out of this workshop, right? Allow me to ask you questions, okay? So if you are okay with me asking you questions, please, right? Thumbs up, right? Or something. Now, quick one, Haslini. When someone comes to you, hey, Haslini, you got a problem. How do you feel?
I feel like I want to punch him.
You want to?
Punch him.
Ah,
What's
you don't feel
problem?
good, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
All of a
Well,
sudden.
I mean, I'm unnecessarily putting a wall in front of you, correct? That you will feel like you want to like, why you come, you see me only, you don't like my face, is it? I'm so pretty, I'm so nice. First thing is that I got a problem. The other thing is that I got a complaint against me. And then the other thing is this, no, I told the manager, when you do this, the staff feels that you are taking whose side? Whose side are you taking on? So if I'm the manager, I come to you, I'm just saying that, I'm not sure whether you deal with customers or whatsoever, but I just come to you and say, Halini, got customer complaint against you. Do you feel I'm with you or I'm against you?
Against.
So first, the word complaint, boom, right? Her wall around her comes up already, right? Second thing, against her, no. So it's like, okay, first there's a complaint, now you are also against me, and we expect to have a good conversation. This is what I mean by language. This is what we mean. And what more if it's a sensitive issue? What more if the engagement between you and the person that you're referring to, talking to, is poor? Which is why a lot of us sometimes have issues with vendors, with customers. The engagement is poor. So therefore, for us to even talk about something, it's like they put on the Great Wall. Are we okay here? Everybody? Are you okay so far? Right? If you're okay, just key in okay, or just give me a thumbs up, so at least I know I'm moving and I'm okay. You know, everyone knows exactly what I'm referring to. Ken? Hey, give me some love lah, at least. Thank you, right, Zarita? Right? Putri, thank you. Julie, thank you. So, can anyone else? Anyone else? Thank you, thank you. Wow, some really give love. June gives two double I love. Okay, right. Thank you very much. Okay, so please, this is something that Tony Robbins says himself. Okay, you want to change your state. Don't even talk about changing their state. If you can't change your state, don't bother changing their state. How do you change your state? Make sure your body and your mind is connected and they are feeling okay. You get me? If they are in fight or flight, sayonara, it's not going to work very well. Okay, right. So let me just move my camera. My camera needs to be off the side a little bit. Okay, good. Now, right. So second thing, please remember focus. Focus is key. Okay, focus. Where do you want to go? If you do not have a destination, the other party is going to take you to their destination. You get me? So please have a destination in this conversation where you want to go. Last but not least, what's the language? Be careful with the language. Now, key thing here, let's move forward, okay? Move forward, All right. Thank you, Aswin, for switching on your video. Okay, now, guys, can we have a group photo first before anything else? Because sometimes people start to go off still. Okay, can we have a quick group photo? So for this particular group photo, everyone, can you please, right? Please, switch on your video. I don't know how many we can get, but switch on your video. Okay, switch on your video. Switch on your video. Wow, now I can see all the good-looking people and all the good-looking men and ladies. Switch on your videos, okay? Right now, we are gonna take it. Smile, please, in the video. Don't just no, don't smile. See your smile. Right, a lot of people here. Right, good. Okay, right. Come. Ready? Okay.
Okay, ready,
Right.
guys.
Navin, you're in
Yep.
charge. Let's do this.
Yep. Okay, ready, guys? Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay.
Right.
Good.
Can we have another one freestyle?
Yes,
Just another one.
we can
Okay.
do freestyle.
Okay. I can give me some love also. All right. Sorry. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Fantastic.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Right. Please keep it on. Keep it on. Right. So let me go here. Let me share again. Okay. Now, get me? Let's go back. Okay. Promise you I won't do another one of this anymore. Okay. So now let's look at the situation. Let's look at the situation, everyone. All right. This is normally the first role play I like to do in my workshop when we come to when we go into difficult conversation. Right. Let's just say you're a manager. You're a manager in a department with 10 people. Okay. A new joiner first came in. It's a lady. Okay. Right. Ladies is a lady. Gentleman is a lady. Okay. Just gonna make it more difficult for you. Right. Because when it comes to gentlemen, they say, yeah, easy. Okay. She's a lady. Been in your department for 2 weeks. Unfortunately, this lady has a very bad body odor. Okay. Bau badan. Right. No problem here, everybody. Right. So the smell is so bad that everyone in the team has given her hints she did not receive. Okay? As someone said, not very self-aware. Or maybe is self-aware but choose to avoid it. Okay? Right? Some of you even, some of them even went to HR. HR, why you went hire this person? HR said, that time interview don't have. How do I know? Okay? So that's the thing here. So HR, everyone now come to you. Right? You're the manager, right? So your job, can you please gao team? Okay? Can you please gao team? So hopefully you're very clear what you need to do. So very quickly, right? Jenny, thank you. Very quickly, type down what are some of your thoughts. Okay, let's go with physiology first. What some of your thoughts of physiology? So put P. What are some of the P words that you can think of physiology? If this were you, you're the manager, you're the supervisor, you need to go and talk to this person, this lady here. 2 weeks into your, 2 weeks with you. How do you, what are some of the feelings here that you have, or here, thought, feeling, how will your body feel? Put it under P, okay? Now, what's the F here? What's the focus here? What's the focus here? Last but not least, think about it. What are some of the language you should use and some of the language you should not use? Wow, Melissa, present her with shower set. Give us shower set. Give us shower set. Shower set only, man. Give her Christian Dior deodorant. Say perfume. Okay, what else? Well, think about it, okay? Literally, as I said, I don't want to go through the theory. If you're with me, you work with me, we will definitely go through the skills. Okay? Work with me on this. I got 4 more tips. All these 4 tips can be related.
Jeremy,
yes, go ahead, Melissa.
Actually, this is really happened to my experience.
Right.
Yeah, I have a actually participant is a manager who shared with me that he has a staff who really have this problem. Yeah, and everybody in the in the company know about that. And you know what ideology of this staff he has? Actually, he is a I would say environmental friendly person, which is he think that shower will waste a lot of water. You see? So even though they present them, the shower set and so on, but he still insists with his own ideology. So how are you going to, manage this kind of people?
Thank you. Okay, this is something that I was waiting for. It's something that I was waiting for, right? Now, why I say I'm waiting for that, right? So let me jump a little bit now. Like it or not, right? I'm just gonna jump. Trust me, I'll cover all 5, okay? I'll cover all 5 because there's so many of you here today and it's good on a Friday. There's so many of you want to learn. Let me cover all 5. Key thing in this particular scenario, right? What's the story here? Let me what's the story in every single situation. There are multiple perspectives from the story. One thing happened. Everyone got a, based on what they saw, what they heard, what they think, what they feel. They've got their own story. So there is stories from the hero, there's stories from the villain, there's stories from the helpless, there's also stories from the victim. You get me? Right? So let's put it this way, right? When you come to him, you may have a story. You may go, I am coming here because everyone says that I need to do something. I'm the manager. I'm the superior here. I need to tell this person we have a problem. Wah, tu macam siapa? Like who? What's your story like? It's what kind of story? Villain, helpless, victim, right? What do you have? Or hero? You get me? You have a story. If you go down there and say, no, I'm coming on behalf of all the team members of the team to come and tell you that you stink, you smell. Hero lah. You get me? Then you must remember, no, you got your story. This individual that Melissa is talking about also has story, you know. Right? His or her story is, in this case, I presume it's a he, his or her story is that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saving the world. What are you doing? Right? I'm saving the world. What are you doing? Putting more, chemicals into the water? I'm saving the world. You get me? Everyone has got their story. Everyone has got their story. The key thing is this. When you talk about the focus, what is the responsible thing to do? The key thing is this. When you talk about the focus, what is the responsible thing to do? You get me? Because if you base it on the story, it will never end. How? Why? Very simple. There is a lot of all these stories, but what's the responsible thing to do? Russia has its own story of why it invaded. Ukraine has its own story of why it's being invaded. Okay, US has its own story. The Germans have their own story. Even China had their own story. Now India has a story. Everyone's got a story. But what's the responsible thing to do? Do we need to really fight this? You get me? Cut through the clutter. What's the focus? What's the focus that both parties can agree on? Okay, what's the purpose that both parties can? So everyone, type down. Okay, type down. What's the focus that both parties? You have her, you have you, or the organization behind you pushing you to have this conversation. What's the focus that you can have? Everyone, type down. What's the focus? Think about this. Right? The person said sustainability, yay, water sustainability. I'm caring for water here. We are wasting too much water. And you are going, yep, because of that, you don't want to waste water. We need to put up with the smell. And pingsan. What do you think? Anyone? A lot of time, even when you're negotiating, right? Whatever we are doing here is part of negotiating. Okay, it's linked very well with negotiating. Whenever I'm doing our what you call it, stakeholder management, we do a lot of negotiation. But if the focus is wrong, the focus is out, or we cannot come to a focus that both parties can relate to, we are not going anywhere. You get me? Right? Come, type. Everyone, type in the chat. Anyone would like to say anything? Right? Please. If you'd like to say something, just say, okay, unmute yourself. I can't see every single one of you because of the because there's quite a fair number of you, right? But what we can do is, if you unmute yourself and you start talking, definitely you'll pop up. Okay? Ken? So think about this. I'm not going to give you an answer. Think about this. What is something that you and this individual with the body BO can do? Okay? Are we all right here so far? Ken? Can I move? Okay. To work effectively, yeah. I mean, Lavita, we know that everyone needs to collaborate. But what's the focus of the collaboration? You just don't do teamwork for the sake of teamwork. There must be a reason why we are working as a team. That's what I'm saying. You cannot go, hey, everyone, let's work as a team. The next person to do what? I know we need to collaborate, but to do what? No point having a team without a direction. The direction needs to be there as well. So what are we supposed to do as a team? Right? Now, Melissa says focus is to respect the others surrounding you. That's a good focus. Okay? So that we can move away from water conservation. That's a good focus. I'm not saying it's ideal. I'm saying that's a good focus to start with. It's about respecting the others around you. Remember, how do you know a person's performance? Can someone tell me the 3 things of a person's performance? Right, AC, right? Thank you for sharing this. Okay. Result. Yes, number 1, Tan says result. Good. What else? There are 3 things that determine performance. Okay. Result, behavior, impact, June. So which one are we covering here when we say respect the others? We are talking B, R, or I. Behavior, respect, or impact. Behavior, respect, or impact. I'm doing performance management now. Behavior, respect, or impact. I mentioned this. Impact. Great. Tan says impact. Great. Whatever she's doing is impacting others. If Melissa's colleague, right, has this thing and go, hey, I'm just being environmental friendly. Great. You're having an impact to the environment. Good. Fantastic. But let's focus on this. You're also having an impact to all of us. You get me? You're also having an impact to all of us. And if enough of us have an impact of it, then we have a problem. But we like you, so therefore we are addressing it. Okay. So let's see whether we can meet halfway. All performance are down to 3 key things ultimately: the result, the behavior. Is the result impacting anyone? Yes, it impacts all of us. Okay, good way or bad? Bad. No one wants the result. Okay, result miss target. Fantastic. Everyone say high five. They give each other high five. We are fantastically happy with it. The behavior itself is good, so everyone says good. Result may not be there, but they say, hey, the person is doing it. The person is getting there. So to the individual who asked the question, what is low competency? Right? It's the person learning the ropes. May not have hit the result yet, but it's the person learning the rope. Yes, on the way there. What if result not there? Doesn't even want to learn the ropes. That means doesn't even want to learn how to do it better. We got another thing. Okay, right? So everything is down to an impact. Impact to her, impact to him, impact to you as a superior, whoever you are, impact to the team, impact to the organization. Are we okay here? Ken? Or impact to society as a whole? Yeah? No. Everyone, are we okay here? Right. So let's go down some of the things that they have mentioned. Right? Okay. Maybe that person doesn't know himself or herself that he or she had BO. Yeah. Right. This is where be empathetic. We are assuming that they know. Right. Don't assume that they know, because if you don't do it properly, you go to her and she doesn't know that she's got BO. She may think that she is being victimized. Superior got nothing to do. Come and tell me I smell. Mana ada ni? You get me? No one in my whole entire 23 years have ever mentioned I smell. Now you come and tell me I smell. I think you don't like me, boss. You get me? Right? So playing a victim. Now, some will do helpless, meaning the moment you tell them this, they'll start crying. They cry, tell you the whole entire story about how this has affected their whole mentality, their whole entire, career, their whole entire thing when they were in school, blah, 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 and they are helpless. And they look at you, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? After a while, you listen to their helpless story, also you become helpless. You're like, alamak, what did I get myself into? So we have two persons having a conversation, but both are helpless. No one is in control. You see the various paradigms of the story. It's both sides. So one of the key things I will tell people to do whenever you're having a conversation, a difficult one, ask yourself, where are you coming from? When you have this conversation, where are you coming from? What's your focus here? What's the person's focus? And please remember, the focus is not necessarily their behavior. Sometimes they're acting only, and that's something that we need to figure out very fast. You get me? The faster you figure out, the better it is, right? So, anything else? Let her think that June says, let her think that everyone have their own limit on something. I don't quite understand what you mean by that. Right? June, if you don't mind. June, are you there? Right? June? June? No, okay, not sure where she is. Right. So, everyone, you clear about this? So think about this. Everybody has a story. Okay. You talking to them, also you have your story. And when you are talking to them, remember, they are not you. They will also see that you are saying a story. I'm just making it obvious. There are four main different stories that people play. Okay. But what is the responsible thing to do? And once you figure out the responsibility thing, that will be your key focus here. Because if you play the story here, then it becomes very egoistical and I'm right, you are wrong. Try not to do this, especially when you're aware of it. Okay? Especially when you're aware of it. Go here. What's the responsible thing to do? Because the responsible thing to do is the best place to anchor. I use the word to anchor a conversation so that you don't need to move very far from there. But when you play any of this, you cannot put the anchor down, and that becomes problematic. Everyone okay? Ken? If you're all right, right? If you're all right, just give a thumbs up. If you got any more questions, if I don't see a thumbs up in the next, if I don't see any questions also, I'll move on. Okay? There's another 3 more tips I want to share. Ken?
So Jeremy, you are trying to say that as a person who deal with this scenario, the role play scenario which is you gave, we need to understand from the perspective of his or her story.
Yes.
And being empathic, and also to negotiate or to reach the reach the compromisations with the story which is we have.
Now, we are always okay. We must always be prepared that they will have a story. Key thing, okay, if you have ever covered NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, we always say this in NLP, and we always say this also in coaching, right? Everyone does something because it benefits them. I want to save time, so I do it. I'm hungry, so therefore I ate it. Okay, it's good for me, so therefore I did it. Oh, why? It's like this. I remember this story. If you go to the prison, you ask every single one of them, all of them will tell you that they did it for a reason, and they had a good reason for doing it. Now, whether that reason was good for society as a whole, but it was definitely good for them, or it benefited them in some way. It took away stress from them some way or other. You understand where I'm coming from? So, having that understanding, everyone has a story, whether the story is out. So, When we meet her, okay, I don't care what your story is, okay, you have your own story, you figure that out. But when we meet her, okay, she could be a villain. Now, how would she act like a villain? So I'm the one who smell, you come and talk to me. How do you think I would act like a villain? Right? Anyone want to go? Darren, Uvis, Eric, how would I act as a villain? Anyone? Or type it out in the chat. Let's listen to all the stories. How would they act like a villain? Anyone? Come on, don't be shy. Don't expect me to talk. I want you to be skill orientated. I'm not much of a theory person. Right? The theory is there. If you want a theory, read a book. Right? Read a book. You come for my talk, you will have to do. Okay? How does it, how can she come out like a villain? Anyone? Anyone want to try? Okay. AC says blaming or shaming somebody. Right? It's too hot. The place aircon no good. Okay? Or she can say that nobody ever complained. Now, that sounds more like a victim. The look of disgust. Right? I can even go sometimes, it could be victim depending on how she plays it. Hey, it's my body. It's my body. What? Body shaming now? It's my body. You'll be okay with it lah. Right? As I said, how do you do it? Everyone's got a thing. Everyone's got a thing. I mean, the hero will be easy lah. You go, really? Really? Okay, sorry lah. I'm gonna put something on. Maybe that's as simple as that. You get me? The responsible thing to do. Right? May think other people are just finding fault with her. That's what I mean by the victim. Why are you finding fault with me? So rather than the BO thing, the conversation now moves to, did I do something wrong? You all don't like me, is it? What did I do wrong? That you have to come and do this to me. Right? Something like that, right? Zavita? So yeah, if I got your name, yeah, Zavita. Yeah. Okay. Need to wear my need to wear spec when I'm looking close now. Okay. Yeah. So any of this, so figure out what potentially is she going to play. Have a way of handling it before going in, because this will help you in your conversation so that you don't get caught off guard. Now, how I do it myself these days, I'm prepared for any story that they tell. So most of the time when they have a story, right, I usually prepared for it, because in my mind I'm saying, okay, if I'm a villain, how would I do this? If I'm a victim, how would I do this? If I'm helpless, how would I do this? This is what we mean, preparing for the conversation. The other thing that I would seriously recommend that you do is this, okay? If you notice, one of the things that a lot of conversations need to have, learn this skill well, stay silent when you need to stay silent. I did that just now, right? I wanted an answer from all of you. So I just stood down here and look at you for the next few seconds. Learn to be silent when you need to be silent. Be okay with the silence. Be okay with the silence, right? Which comes after this, okay? Very important thing. When do you use silence? When do you use silence? After this, okay? Use silence after. This is tip 2, Use silence after the question. Use silence after the question. Okay? Learn to keep your mouth shut after you ask a question. Right? There are many, many different types of questions that we can ask. I mean, it's all down here, right? This is Socrates' questioning techniques, right? Many different types about challenging the assumption, asking a question with a question. One of the key skill all of you must learn to do, and you can start doing this today. The theory is very simple. The actual doing of it is very, very difficult. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Anyone would like to do a role play with me? Anyone? 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 Right? Anyone? You would like to do a role play? Just say, just unmute yourself and talk. Okay? Let's go. June, you want to do a role play?
Let's do that.
Can? Let's do that. Huh?
Can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. June. Right.
Yes.
Now, before I do the role play, I'm going to tell you straight out. Okay. All of us are trained to be answering machine. Our whole system, right? Whether it's the education system, our society, we are trained to be answering machine. One of the key things of being a good conversationalist who is able to carry difficult conversation is try as much as possible, do not be an answering machine. Can you do that? She's not
Let's see
thinking,
how.
she's not sure.
Let's see how.
Okay, yeah. Okay, everyone, give her a round of applause before she starts. Just give her a round of applause. Okay? Okay. Let's do this. All right. Now, June, what I'm gonna do is, okay, I'm gonna ask you questions, and you try not to be an answering machine. Okay? Can? All right. June, are you at home now? Are you at home? No, not at home. But your head is telling me you're not at home.
Oh,
So
I'm.
your physical body is telling me the answer already.
Oh, okay. All right.
It doesn't need to be verbal. This is what we
Yeah.
mean by physiology as well. Physiology means, hey, whatever is being taught here, whatever is being taught here, your body translates to it. No, that's why we call it as body language, right?
Mm,
If you, lady, if you like someone, you are bound to be closer to him or her, right? If you don't like someone, you're bound to stand further away from him or her, correct?
right.
It's instinctive, right? Sometimes you don't even notice it consciously, but someone notices it unconsciously and go, they like each other. Oh yeah, they don't like each other. Like, come on, look at the body language. You get me? So again, let's do this. But in conversation, of course, we need to verbalize it. Okay? No. Let me ask you this. Where do you stay? Oh, she goes, I can't answer this with a yes or no.
Yeah.
So what can you do? What can you do?
What can I do?
Yeah. If I ask you a question, where do you stay?
Why you want to know where I'm going to stay?
Good. You come back with a
Question.
get me, right? This is why I put this
Yeah.
here. Don't be an answering machine, people. Choose to answer when you want to answer. Choose to answer when the conversation moves forward. Don't choose to answer just because they are asking a question.
Okay.
There is nothing wrong with answering a question with a question. So can you do that for me? Okay, right, June, do that for me. Now, once you understand the skill, the theory will automatically drop one. Okay, right? What I mean by okay, let's go. Because these are not difficult. Whatever I'm saying to you, whatever I cover in this workshop, I'm quite sure somewhere in your system, in your experience dealing with people, you have encountered this before. But what I'm doing a lot of today, if you start to notice, I'm bringing the theory and the skill together. I'm bringing the theory, the knowledge, and the skill together. So let's practice this, okay? Let's practice this. So let's go, right? And this is what I do in the workshop a lot. We practice, we keep on practicing till we get it, because it needs to be inbuilt into our system so that we respond automatically and we choose our responses. We don't react. We are proactively in choosing how we want to respond so that we keep focused, so that our body physiology-wise is maintained in a calm, composed thing, and we are very careful with the language that we are giving out. You get me? Now, let's do this, okay? Hi, June. Where do you stay?
It okay if I don't understand. If is it okay if I don't answer that?
Why not?
I don't think you need to know that.
But I was
It's my
thinking of
parents.
taking you home.
No, it's my privacy.
Mhm.
It's my privacy, and you shouldn't. I think it's not important thing for you to know that. I think.
Okay, good. Now, she is now responding, but she's not answering, but she's not really questioning yet. Huh? But if
Yeah.
you notice her answers, her question, she is in defense mode. You understand what I mean by she's in defense mode? Everyone, you understand what I mean by, yes, is it being, yes, right, underneath it, she's in defense mode. So this is what I mean. The language tells us that you are in defense mode. How do you go on an attack mode? Attack. Ladies, I'm quite sure you have kena this somewhere or other before, right? Okay. Okay. So how do you go on an attack mode, June?
I think if I want to act, no need to know. It's none of your business. I think.
Okay, good.
Is it attacking? I'm not sure. I
Right.
just when someone asked me that question, I just it's none of your business. You do not need to know what I'm saying. I think it's
Okay.
I'm not sure whether it's defensive or attacking lah.
No,
I'm not sure.
I mean that is more attacking lah.
I
Okay,
see,
you're
okay.
literally putting a stop.
Yeah.
I'm just no. Please note. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But I'm
Mm.
saying these are options available. You get me? When we are in this kind of conversation, know your options available. But everything that we say, understand there is a potential impact here. There's a potential impact. Okay, it may drive the conversation forward, or it may stop the conversation, or the conversation go backwards. Meaning the ego comes out, the frustration comes out, the emotion comes out. Are we okay here? Ken?
Yeah.
But
Understand.
please, in this particular tip, remember, you can answer a question with a question, you can clarify, okay, assumption, you can even ask them, what do you mean by this? Can you please elaborate more? Okay.
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 Jeremy, I believe, sorry for interrupting. Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Jeremy, Shanazlin would like to do a role play too.
Naslin.
Naslin.
Right. By the way, this is my partner Ken. Right.
Hi, everyone.
Well, it's not that I would like to play a role play. I am being provoked to do the role play.
Ooh, provoke. Yes, there we go.
So
There we
she's
go.
playing victim now, and Ken is playing the villain.
Eh,
I'm the
jangan nak.
victim here.
Eh, you are the one provoke. Eh.
Right. So, June, if you look at it, right, please, Naslin, right, you can do a role play with me later on, okay? We are getting there, right? So, ask back, where do you stay, right? Julie said that, ask back, where do you stay? Definitely, when you're being attacked, you feel uncomfortable. If you're being, Melissa said she feels uncomfortable. June, were you feeling uncomfortable? I'm sure you were, right? One of the things you do is you laugh a little bit when you're uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
So, right, key thing here, physiology. When you are talking to that person, you know when the person is nervous. Do you want to continue? You know the person is uncomfortable. Do you want the Ruscan just step on the brake? No, just step on the accelerator, or don't care, or you want to ease off the accelerator and maybe jam the brakes a little bit. Okay, we need to see this, because why? I'm giving you more tips here. Okay, this is not insight, right? I always say, you can see the red zone coming. Agree now? Meaning, you can see from the other party whether they are ready to fly or they are ready to fight. When you see that red zone coming, that red light coming, because the light is already flashing yellow, yellow, amber, 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 do you want to step on the accelerator and throw more things inside, or you want to back off? Okay, because sometimes by backing off, you allow them time to breathe. The ego doesn't come in. The emotion doesn't come in, because when the emotion comes in, it takes some time for the emotion to come down. Okay, everybody? Can? Now, are we learning something? If you're learning something, give me a thumbs up, right? At least I know, or say okay.
Jeremy, question, yeah, I'm Zarita
Yes.
here.
Yeah, hi.
I had this example, right, experience with my peer or my colleague that actually she's not aware that she's the problem, that kind of thing. So we tried to have a conversation with her a few times, but it seems that she's always on a like very defensive mode, that kind of thing, right? So a lot of time we just keep quiet, we don't proceed with the conversation because we don't want it to become an emotional conversation, right? But how we want to tackle this type of person that always on emotional part, right? Because now we can see that a lot of people try to avoid, and because of that no one want to tell her what exactly is the problem, even though we know exactly that she is the problem, right? But she doesn't aware about that, and no, it becomes like, we just accept it. So do you think that, because of this character, we just continue to ignore, or when will be the time that we will say that, okay, this impacting the team, and we need to be have the courage to talk to her, exactly what really the problem, right? So when do you think that it's really the best time to tell this to her?
When? Right? Yesterday. Okay. Right. Jokes aside, I mean, the fact that you're bringing it up, it is important. I mean, it seems important that you all need to say whatever you need to say to her. Correct? It's important enough, right? So, and the other thing is this, okay? Remember, when you say it to her, please make sure don't come from a hero perspective or she's a villain. Because if you come hero, the person on the opposite side will always receive it as I'm the villain. Because that if there's a hero, there must be a villain. You get me, right? So it will never be seen as good. Now, you can come in a little bit helpless, but be responsible about this. What do I mean? And you can also prepare her. It's just like this. Hey, Kak, I got something to tell you, but jangan marah tau. You see how I mean? Okay, right? And then you go, what you want to talk about? I also don't know how to tell you, because I also feel very bad, guilty telling you. So you are just expressing, and this is one of the other tips, okay? Since you asked, Joanna, never mind. Talk about the emotions you feel, so that physiologically you are releasing certain tension within yourself. One of the key things we don't move forward in conversation is because we ourselves hit the wall. And when we hit the wall, we don't know what to do. Okay? So in difficult conversation, or sometimes we even call it courageous conversation, I always tell people, learn to express that feeling out, but you need to filter a little bit. But if you think that I'm very nervous, I'm not even sure whether it's the right thing to tell you. But when I tell you, I feel that I'm being a bad person. You see what I'm doing here? Now,
Okay.
by you hearing this, Zarita, how do you feel if you were her?
I think I want to know where exactly is the problem.
So you see, this is like reverse psychology.
Yeah.
But but my thing is this, don't act it, you must feel it. And you must tell yourself, okay, this is big here. This is something that needs to be mentioned, not because I want to become a hero, but because it is for everyone's benefit, myself included.
Yeah, I
And-
think the issue here is that as a team, everyone don't have that chemistry with her. So to have this kind of conversation is quite difficult. But I got what you meant lah. Thank you.
Well, ultimately, someone needs to have the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we call it difficult or courageous. Okay, Naslin, is it? Naslin.
Question.
Yes, go ahead.
Are you saying that we should level up to be at the same par with that person? Then only you start telling him or her.
Can you please explain level up?
For example, not level up, it's level down. For example, she is having the problem now and whatnot. So we are here to tell her the problem, but don't attack. But at first, level down, put yourself in her shoes first. You know, that emotion should be the same. Then only you nailed it lah.
Isn't that what empathy is all about?
Mm.
Putting yourself in the person's shoes, coming from the person's perspective.
Yep.
When you buy me, I will buy you. Remember that, huh? When you buy me, I will buy you. When you come to me and you want to sell something, I'm like, for what? So always remember this, right? Remember this, right? This is something that I try to emphasize a lot in management programs. I call it the 3 E's. Engage, number 1. After you engage, then you can explain why, how come, whatever the situation, you get me? Then you go to expectation. If engagement is not there, explanation is a waste of time. Expectation is more so what now? You want me to do more? You are pushing it down my throat. You're forcing me to do it. I'm now at a corner and now you still want to push me. That's what expectation sounds. So engage first E, followed by explain. Only after engagement, then can you explain. If the engagement is not there, explanation will go 1 year in, 1 year out. Then after you explain, they get it, they are aware, okay, I get it. Then you can set some expectation. Then you get me to do it. Otherwise, it's a conversation, but it's a one-way conversation. Difficult conversation must be 2 ways. To get it to be 2 ways, we need to understand each other first to a certain extent. Are we there, Ken? Okay. For those of you who want to know more, please catch my topic on trust, which I did 2-3 weeks ago or 2-3 months ago. There's a topic there on trust. You can go to ATCEN's YouTube, right? ATCEN, go YouTube, just type in ATCEN. If it doesn't pop up ATCEN SD, Tendian Berhad SDN PhD, you will go to our YouTube. In our YouTube, look for the one that says trust. I talk about the 5 levels of trust that we need to learn to build for very high engagement to take place. And this 5 levels is it's difficult to build, but it easily crumble if we don't work on it properly all the time. Okay, and it varies from individual to individual. Right? Are we okay here, Ken? Right. So giving you some tips here, right? Can I move forward? Can I move forward? Anyone, any more questions? If not, let me move forward. Got another 2 more to go. Ken? Okay. Now, Tan said, agree with Zarita, especially when the company has otai. I'm not sure what you mean. Which one are you agreeing to? Right, sorry, I wasn't tracking this. Tan, anything that you want to say? Tan, are we okay? Sure. Tan, are you there? Okay, right, not sure. Okay, let's go. Now, if nothing, I'm just gonna move forward. Okay, or backwards. Hold on. Okay, now, this thing. Now, this is another one that you can use, the power of I. I was just using it a little bit to Zarita just now. Okay, I. I want something that's like demanding, expectation. I need them to understand. Okay, right? It's different, no? It's different. It's different when you go to this. Go back to a scenario. It's different when you say, I'm here to talk to you because I smell it. Compared to, I'm here to talk to you because they want me to talk to you about your body odor. Agree, no? So, key thing here, know when to use I. I makes it personal. Personal. I'm sharing with you. Okay? What am I referring to? If you're not sure, okay, just in case anyone who came in or lost me a little bit, I'm talking about this one, remember the body odor? When you come and have a conversation with her, right? If you go, I'm here to talk to you because, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Anyone want to do a role play? Anyone want to do a role play? As I said, I keep on asking for role play. Do you want, right? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come, anyone? Don't be shy.
I'm Jenny here. Sorry,
Hi,
Jeremy.
Jenny.
Yeah, my apology. Yeah, I have a little bit of problem here because I think connection. Yeah, because I work from home.
Okay, no problem. Right. So, but good thing that you're there. Okay, so Jenny.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to do a role play with me, huh?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, my camera got a little bit of problem.
No problem. Okay. Next time, just next time if you ever with me, just put a photo down there lah, so I know.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Okay. So quick one here. Look, why don't you play her and I'm playing the manager who needs to come and talk to you. Can?
Okay.
And I want you to tell us how you feel or what the thing that you get. Okay, whatever is up here or coming from here. Okay.
Okay.
Right. I go, hi Jenny.
Hi, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jenny. Some of the other colleague wants me to come and talk to you lah.
On what?
They say you got body odor.
Okay.
So how now?
I feel a bit nervous. Yeah.
You are nervous.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
What
the
else?
feeling, I feel a little bit of like, sort of like afraid, threatened.
Good.
Yeah, because it might have impact on my performance, my work performance. Yeah. And yeah, I just feel that I might not doing that well. Yeah.
Right. Good.
Yeah. I feel like, myself like a bit like boycott
Oh, why
by the colleague.
Boycott you.
A little bit of the kind of feeling. Yeah.
Question. I mean, the big thing here is because I say a lot of your colleagues want me to come and talk to you, right?
Yeah. I feel
It's
like
Mm.
I'm being boycott, something like that. Yeah. The kind of feeling. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, the way you're responding to me tells me when there's a conflict, you tend to avoid, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You are not, I mean, pick this up. Okay. I'm picking up that she is one of those who avoids the conflict, so she would rather fly. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Trust me, I fly. Right? But people who know me know that when it comes to certain type of people, I fight. But most of the time, 90% of the time, I fly. Okay, I'm the flyer. So nothing wrong with that. That's the way we respond to a dangerous situation. Okay, so key thing here is this: when she feels she needs to fly, it's because she feels that she's being attacked, and it's like the colleagues are talking behind her back. You may get the conversation done, but this will always be back of the mind. Agree?
Yeah.
Remember, what is your focus on? A longer term relationship or just to get the thing done?
Correct.
Because sometimes in difficult conversation, after the thing is done, agree, one party may still go, I don't know where to put my face anymore. Malu sangat. Or at the Chinese side to say it, no more face, bo bin. So why bother being here? I totally lost my face already. Because it's the ego talking. There's a lot of levels here, everybody. If you don't know, there's a lot of levels, but I'm just bringing in. And this I know is true. Every one of us have been there before. If you say you have not been there before, right? If you have not experienced it before, then I say, hey, live life a little, okay? Come for my workshop and we will bring it out. Live life a little. All of us have got this before. So, key thing here. What if I go? Let me do another round. I use I. Jenny, are you still with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I go. Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Hi, Jeremy. I'm good.
You're good, right? How is
Yes.
everything?
Yeah,
what-
so far so good.
You like what's happening? I mean, I know you've been with us for like 2 weeks now. You know, what have you learned?
Well, thanks.
Make it up.
Yeah, thanks to all the colleagues. You know, they show me around. You know,
Mhm.
they give me a very good onboarding experience. You know, so
Mhm.
I've learned the company culture, vision, missions. You know, I learned the people here. So yeah,
Mm.
it's a very good
Mm.
2 weeks journey for me. Yeah, I really
Mhm.
appreciate everyone's
Mm.
the support.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm.
it was really a great experience.
Good. Right. Good. Very good. Very good. I mean, I really think. I mean, if I want to ask more, I'll just engage more, lah. Right. But let's cut to the chase a little bit, So I'm going to move forward a little bit from the engagement to the thing. Jenny, actually, I think all of us here, I mean, want to improve, right? You also want to improve, right?
Yes.
Right. Because I find that you are a go-getter. You're a person who is proactive. You know, you like to learn things and.
Oh,
You know,
thank you.
And one of the key things that I think we must practice here a little bit more is to be very honest with our feedback to each other.
Okay. Yeah.
You understand what I mean by giving
Understand.
you an honest feedback?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Just that you should give me honest feedback. I may be your superior, but do give me honest feedback. If you think I'm right, I'm right. If you think I'm wrong lah. Right? At least it allows me an opportunity to explain myself.
Yeah.
You get me?
Understand.
Okay. Now, actually, I've got something for you that I want to mention.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But please don't feel bad about this. It happens to many people.
Okay.
I have it occasionally when I play a lot of sport and I sweat like crazy. Ken will tell you. Okay. And are you okay if I tell you this?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Don't feel bad about it, but it's something that we can definitely work on. Okay.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I wish I could see her, then I can react. No, I can't see her. It's pure darkness. Okay. So then I'll just say, I'll say, Jenny, I can smell it now. I must admit, your body odor can be very strong.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Everyone has it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Don't be sorry. The key thing now is, if you know, do you know you have it?
Not really. So far, no
Not really.
one come to me.
Okay. I mean, it may be my nose, but I smell it.
Oh, okay.
Right. And if possible, I would like you to do something about this.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
What can you suggest?
okay. Now we're just moving forward, right?
Yeah.
But you see, I'm trying to keep the energy level and not get the energy level going up. You get me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to control my energy. At the same time, I'm listening to your energy because I don't want your energy to go up too high, meaning you get very angry, or too low until you become silent. You get me?
Yeah.
So when you are having this kind of conversation, if there's another tip I can give you, it's the energy. The energy will tell you the danger zone. I'm listening to the voice. Or you look at the person, whether they are moving away from you or moving forward. But if I'm face to face with you and I'm having this conversation, please, don't move away and go, wow, your body odor that bad. I mean, you're over exaggerating it. To me, hey, I'm going to move forward, even though it could be bad, so that later on, when you say something, I'm saying it happens to all of us. I could be the one who's only smelling it. Why in the world do I need to tell you the whole entire world smells it as well? Because my thing is not for you to know everyone could be smelling it. My thing is let's take action. My focus is more on what's the action that needs to be taken to resolve this. You get me?
Okay.
So everyone, you get me? Okay.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So everyone, if you like that, please give a thumbs up, or you got any comments. Time to ask questions. Let's go. Okay. Right. So give me some feedback. Everybody give me some feedback. Is it okay, not okay? You like certain things, you don't like certain things, you learn certain things. Or okay, I was a bit lost on that. Or Jeremy, I don't think that was good at all.
Jeremy, sorry,
Yes.
a quick
Yes,
one.
Jenny.
Let's say, yeah, we are female, or I mean the manager, or you are male. Would that be good or better? Let's say female talk to female, or I mean, let's say you are my superior, or maybe I'm getting another female person to talk. Is that okay? Let's say to engage, you know. I mean, sometimes, you know, female talk, they are more comfortable rather than because you talk on this personal audio kind of thing. Although, so I'm not sure. Let's say, yeah, I mean, let's say my manager is a male, so the male manager should maybe get another female peers or colleague. Would that be better?
I
I'm not sure.
agree that it would make it better. In this particular case, if a female were to talk to a female, I don't disagree with that. But I'm also saying, everyone, note my word here. Learn not to delegate this away too much, or else you find yourself delegating this kind of conversation to many people for whatsoever reason. Again, take my little word of advice down here, okay? Learn not to delegate this kind of conversation too much, or you find that you are delegating away all this kind of conversation. And potentially, credibility may be lost. Example, hey, boss is very like that one. Oh. So should I talk to boss about this? Will a guy talk better to the boss? Oh, my boss is female. Maybe I'll get another lady to talk to her. Lah. Right? The vendor looks like my mother-in-law. I think better get someone to talk to the vendor. Lah. Looks like my mother-in-law. Acts like a mother-in-law also. You get me? Right. Trust me, our brain, our heart will always want to protect ourselves. It's normal. We start doing this too much. I'm not saying you cannot do, but I said we start doing this too much, you will find every single excuse to delegate the conversation to someone or to wait for the right time, and the right time never comes.
Understand.
So please learn to have that conversation. Right? I mean, it's just like my son is hitting puberty. I know I need to have a conversation with him about the birds and the bees, if you know what I mean, right? And yeah, I need to have it soon. Okay, because I tested him, he doesn't understand. So I need to have the birds and the bee conversation with him, right? Just like I was there when my wife had it with my daughter, and you know, we sort of went through it. You get me? Are we all right here? We cannot delegate this. We have to do this. By learning how to do this, we move forward. Can do? Okay. Now, last thing, okay? Last thing, I hope everyone you're learning something here. Okay. Last one. I call this CPR. What do I mean by CPR? CPR is a very simple concept. but it's also one of the most difficult to get to, right? What I mean by CPR, whenever you have a conversation, and this goes back to a little bit of the focus here. Remember CPR, okay? What we call content, pattern, or some people use the word issue. What's the issue here? What's the issue? Apa issue? Apa issue? That's what I mean. Issue, the pattern, and the outcome. Now, always do this. Always do this. A lot of people have, oh, I've got an issue to bring up. Okay. The issue is only good provided the facts back up the issue. Correct. This is what I mean by the facts of the story. What exactly happened there must back up the issue. If the facts do not back up the issue, that means there's a disjoint. Okay. Then why are we even having this focus? The focus is wrong. So what I'm saying here is the content of the conversation must have facts backing it up. Preferably the facts have a pattern, meaning it had occurred multiple times. It had occurred multiple times. Why? So that when we talk about this thing here, it is easier for the person to go, okay, I do see that there could be a problem here. Now, example, if I come to work late one time in a month, and this is the first time for the whole entire year, and I have not had much of this lateness the whole of last year, but this is the one time I'm late. You bring it up. Hello, you got not much pattern here, no? But if I'm consistently late, you have a pattern. You can go, hey, Jeremy, right? For this week itself, I've noted that you have been late 3 times. Yeah, but previously I wasn't late. I said, yeah, I understand. But this week itself, you have been late 3 times. So I'm just wondering whether something has happened. You get me? Then the pattern is established. It is this week 3 times. Are we okay here? From that pattern, okay, then you all decide what's the outcome. What's the main outcome? So when you're having the conversation, focus on CPO. Focus on the CPO. Don't deviate too far. That means even before I go into a conversation, I already go, okay, what keeps on occurring? What's the fact here? The fact will lead me to a content that I want to talk about. Then I have the fact, the P, justifying the pattern, and then I also go, okay, what's the outcome here? Go in with an outcome. So if you want to talk to me about my body odor, you better have at least one solution. Whether it's giving me shower gel, giving me perfume, whatsoever. Don't go down there blur blank also, right? Can't even put anything to the table. Because one of the key things that people sometimes do, especially we are talking to vendors and customers, so what can you do? What can you do? And we're like, what you want, right? If you do that, it better be a tactic to get them to say what they want first. But in here, we better know what we can put. So that when they put down something that they want, we can immediately go, yes, done. Or, okay, I will need to find out a little bit more. Give me 3 minutes. Because if they don't have any outcome, we are just going in blind. Whatever they say also, we need to, okay, lor. Are we okay here? Ken? Right. Good. CK, yeah. Always begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey. Right. This is one of the 7 habits. Begin with the end in mind. It is critical that we know what we want. You get me? I mean, you don't go, if you are a coach to a football team, you don't go, especially when you are a professional team, what? You go inside the game, hey, everyone, right? Let's just have a good game. The player will look at you one kind and go, have a good game. I'll aim here to have a good game. I'll aim here to win. And if you need to win by how much? Correct or not? right? If the German play with Malaysia, the Germans will say, hey, anything less than a certain score, we lose, no? Agree? They will want to win by a certain score, no? So winning is not even a factor, it's win by a certain score. You get me? Right? The Malaysian may go in and go, guys, it's the German. Let's play and get a draw. A draw is a win for us. You get me? You need to understand the outcome. If we don't have any outcome, let's go and have fun. You're not going to go very far. Okay? Now, everyone, are we okay here? Right? Very quickly, yeah? Right? What have you learned from this session? What have you learned from this session? Let's put some things down. Let's very quickly, let's put some things down. Type in so that we can do some recap, right? We can do some recap. You may have learned different things. You may have heard different things from me, right? Come. What have you learned from this session? Promise you we'll finish by 5. By what time are we supposed to finish? Oh, 4:30. Right. Over time. I forgot. I thought it was to finish by 5. Okay. What do you learn? What do you learn? What do you learn? What do you learn? Anyone? Sorry, I got my time messed up. I was thinking it's a 5 o'clock ending. I was wondering why it was so long. Never mind. Learn to listen. Thank you. I like that you talk about observing the energy. Please. Yep. Thank you very much. Right, easy. The energy observation, very critical. That's why when I do this kind of workshop, I like it to be face-to-face if possible, right? But I insist everyone switch on their video if they are doing online with me, okay, in the workshop. Understand the other person's perspective. Remember, Davita, your map, your perspective is not my perspective. Until I get your perspective, you get my perspective, then we can move somewhere. Okay. Need to observe the energy from the other party. Yes, Aslin. Okay. Please do keep on observing, especially when the energy changes. And we see it if we do a lot with customers and vendors. The energy changes. Now, but please also remember this. Okay. The person is not their behavior. Sometimes why I say that, the person himself or herself may not even know that their energy has changed. Again, the person may not even know the energy has changed. So if you are more skilled, more experienced in this area, okay, be the bigger person. Be the bigger person, right? Right? Davita said, don't try to be the answering machine. We are trained to answer, so don't try to be it. Know that you have a choice to answer with a question, or if you find answering with a question immediately very difficult, my suggestion to you is give a short, simple answer and then ask the question immediately. Okay, so it's like asking just now, where do you stay? June, where do you stay? Oh, just go Subang. What about you? Done. You get me? So that when the person answers, you can then ask a following question. So the person say, oh, KL. Which part of KL? Well, I live in Cheras. Oh, what is good in Cheras to eat? You get me now? So you go that way. So what you do is you answer with a short question and you pump up with another question. Okay, right? And be compassionate. Yes, empathy, empathy, empathy. Difficult conversations are all about being empathetic. Now,